Hey y'all, this is Heavenly, and if I'm just going to talk about something that is on my heart. So, after this video, if you like what I'm saying, you agree what I'm saying, you could go underneath a bar in the comments, and you can tell me your opinion, or you can actually subscribe to the page, and you won't miss any other videos. So, God works in mysterious ways. Let me tell you something. God works in mysterious ways. So yesterday, me and my mom, well, the day before, I was scrolling through social media and I seen Cracker Barrel, and they got like chicken and French toast, and they made that thing look so good, and my mouth was watering. So I was thinking, like, the next day, I was like, maybe on Sunday, me and my mom could go. I'll take my mom. It's something different, and they have varieties of food, some home cooking food. So I said that'll be something different. So Sunday came, I had to do assignment for school. I was like, we ain't gonna go, but something was like, go, go, go. So me and my mom, we rely on the Ubers. We weren't gonna catch no bus there because it's far out. So I was like, okay, I got the extra money. Let's go ahead and catch an Uber out to Cracker Barrel. Got her ready. We went out there. We ate. We had a good time. So it's time to call the Uber back to come and get us. So we called an Uber. So we get in this young girl's car. She's young. She had to be in like her mid 20s. And when we get in a car and we're driving, about to get on the highway, I noticed like her phone kept ringing and she was ignoring it. And she gets on the phone. She says, I am working. I really am working. You cannot be calling me on my trips like this because I have to pick up the phone. I can't be on the phone and drive it and with people in the car. I can't do that. So bad. Then a person kept calling and she said, I am really on the Uber. I'm really doing Uber. Like, I really am. And she said, I cannot put them on speaker because I'm talking to them. And I can't put them on video. I don't have a man in the car. I don't have a man in the car. So he hung up and the music kept playing. Like, the music was playing. So we going down the highway. We not even like 5 minutes into. We not even a good 10 minutes within a drive. All you do is hear the text message. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, back to back to back to back to back. Then we got stuck in traffic. We were like in traffic sitting there, and then she picked it up and she was like, "You have to quit calling me." And she was like, "Wait a minute. Watch your mouth. Do not be cussing at me. Don't be cussing at me, right?" And the first time when she kept saying that to whoever she was talking to on the phone, I already knew that was her. That was a man, a boyfriend, or somebody in her life. And it triggered me because I was in my own situation like that. So it triggered me because it just triggered me, and I just couldn't, like, it was like, I don't know, I just couldn't keep my mouth shut because I was like, I'm gonna mind my own business, but I couldn't. So once she got off the phone with him, um, well, she didn't get off the phone with him. She acted like she was saying bye, but then she kept him on the phone because you could see, because now in the cars you could see when somebody's on the phone. It'll say call connected, and I guess she left us on there and she started asking me questions. So I'm guessing she wanted to show him that I was a woman. There wasn't no man. And then the phone hung up. You could hear it. It was like, doop. So I asked her, I said, are you off the phone with him? Is that your boyfriend? I asked her. She said, yeah. I said, I've been in a situation like that. She said, yeah, I have too, but this is a different situation. He's just in jail, and he just don't, he's insecure because he don't know what I'm doing. You know, um, he just want to make sure I'm good, and he don't know what I'm doing, and he's just insecure, because he's in jail. But once he gets out, because he's supposed to get out, this is the girl explaining to me about her inmate boyfriend. She said once he gets out, she said, I just paid for his lawyer. He's going to get out in the next few weeks. And she said, I'm paying for everything. He's just insecure because he don't know what I'm really doing. But once he gets out, everything be all right. Everything be all right, right? So I left that alone, and something was like, girl, you got to tell her. And I told her, I said, I don't mean to be in your business, but your situation remind me of the situation I was in. My man wasn't in jail, but he was in another country, and he showed those signs. And I took those signs as, um, being wanted. I took those signs as he want to make sure I'm good. I took those signs as once he gets here, it's going to change. He don't know what I'm doing because he's far away, but once he gets here and he sees that's all I do is work and come home, that'll stop, and it doesn't. And I told her straight up, I said that stuff escalates and it doesn't get any better. And I felt just God just talking to me. I said that stuff don't get any better. I said, and this ain't nothing I heard. This ain't nothing I seen on no talk show. This is something I've been through. That stuff, that insecurity stuff, that don't get no better. I said once he gets here, once he gets here and he gets to y'all be together, it gets worse and worse and worse, and the accusations get crazier and crazier. And let me give y'all an example. So I found myself explaining myself for common sense things. So during COVID, I worked from home. So on the weekends, I would take care of my mom, and then I would come home instead of going to work. And sometimes he would call off, so he would be there. And most of the times, if I catch the bus, if the bus come on time, I have to punch it at 8. I will be home at like 7:40 or 7:45. But however, if the bus is late, I'll get home like at 7:50 or 7:55. So that means I'll just run to my computer, punch in, take off my coat, and do whatever. And a few of the times he was home because he called off of work. And he would ask me, why you late? Why you late? Because you usually be home at 7:40. You was lazy. You missed the bus. And I'm like, how did I miss the bus when my buses run every half an hour? I wouldn't be 5 minutes late. I would be a half an hour late. And when I would try to explain myself to him, he would get more angry. And that stuff would escalate. And that stuff turned into verbal and emotional abuse where he's bringing up my past because he's angry. He's coming up with these crazy accusations. I'm 10 minutes late from usually when I get home, and he's accused me of cheating on him. It never stops. It never stopped. And she put him on speaker, and he was cussing her out, and she put him on speaker, her man on speaker. He was cussing her out, calling her out, her name, everything. And when she let him go, I said that stuff don't get no better. I said, I have to tell you, it don't get no better. I said, in my situation, I said that stuff escalates into him putting his hands on you. And I said, it does. I said, I never thought in a million years that the man that I paid, that I've spent all this money to be with, getting him up here, doing all this stuff for, I never thought he would put his hands on me. And he did. He put his hands on me, and he beat the living daylights out of me. I never thought that in a million years. If somebody would have told me that, I'd be like, you a lie. This man has sisters and stuff, and I was like, he'll never put his hands on me. He beat the living daylights out of me. And I said, girl, I don't want you to go through that, because that stuff escalates, and he has anger problems, and he's insecure. And I said, when he gets here, ain't nothing going to change. He going to want to FaceTime you to make sure you ain't around dudes. If you don't pick up the phone right away when you get home, it's going to be on and popping, and I said, girl, you don't want that. I said, you too pretty, and I don't want to see you on no news, because these men ain't wrapped too tightly. And I said, and that's one of the signs of abuse. When they won't let you, they got to talk to you and stay in contact with you 24/7. If you don't pick up your phone, they getting angry. They disrespecting you. They cussing you and calling you out your name. And you're doing all this stuff for them, and they're cussing you and disrespecting you. I said, and I told her, I said, I don't know how much it's going to stick on, but I said, I pray for you. I said, I pray, because that stuff don't get no better. And then she started asking me questions. She was like, how did you get out your situation, all that stuff. So I answered her questions, and by her asking me questions, I was like, okay, she might be interested, because she was telling me that she tried to leave him so many times and couldn't leave him. And I was just, God put me in that car to really minister to her. So I don't know how much of that's going to stick, but once you put that seed in, hopefully that seed be able to grow, because it's not an accident that I went to Cracker Barrel yesterday, and it's not an accident that I got out of all the cars, I got her car. And I had to really go home and really do some meditation because it really triggered me hearing her boyfriend, because it made me go back to my situation, and I really had to, the triggers, and I really had to go and really do self-care on myself because it triggered me so bad. So if anybody listening to this and you're in a situation like that with a boyfriend, with a boyfriend, I just want to let you know that that stuff don't get no better. It doesn't. Those are signs, and those are previews of abuse. Even if he doesn't even touch you, you're signing up for emotional and mental abuse, and you don't deserve that. You are God's queens, and and God don't want you in that. And it takes up and it eats up so much time. When I got out my situation, I didn't realize how much time it ate up. Time of explaining myself over and over again. Time of being on eggshells. I had so much free. I was free. I didn't have to be no longer on eggshells. I didn't have to no longer ride the bus and be like, I hope everything's good when I get home. I hope I don't make him mad. It eats up so much time. It eats up your purpose, because you realize how much time you spend catering, how much time you spend on eggshells, how much time you spend explaining yourself, worrying. It eats up your purpose and your destiny. And usually when you're with a man like that, he don't want you to strive. He don't want you escalate. He don't want you to, how can I put it, involve. He don't want you to evolve yourself. He don't want you to move up, because every time you move up is a step. It is a stab to his ego, and he will try his best to keep you down and keep you stifled. You'll realize that. And I mean, it's the most scariest thing leaving. It's the most scariest thing, because you don't know what the unknown. You don't know the unknown. But I tell you, if you trust God, if you get on your knees and give everything to him, he's going to keep you safe. He's going to clean you up, and he's going to keep you safe. And he's going to give you your purpose, and you're going to work on that purpose for his kingdom. I've been thinking about this all night. I'm just shaking, but I'm just saying, if you in that situation, I pray that you get on your knees and you let God get you out of that. And you just working for his harvest and his fields. And he will always keep you protected and keep you safe. Because that's not what God wants you to do. It's to stifle your life and lose your purpose, and unfortunately may lose your life because of a sick man. I also want to let you know that these are good signs and good tests to do to men, to see where a man's mental health is when you're starting to talk to them and date them, like at the talking stage. And I would even suggest this: before you even entertain a man, get on your knees and pray to God. But if you happens to miss it, those are some tests that you can do. Say no. Resist the devil and he will flee. Say no a couple of times when you're dating. And I tell you, had I did that at the beginning and knew what I was doing, that would have manifest real fast. Because an unhealthy man want to talk to you, want to control you, and once you say no, that demon manifest. You'll hear it in his voice, the way he talks to you when he finally gets you. Miss a couple of calls. See how he reacts. And you'll hear it in his voice. You'll hear the anger in his voice. He'll try to be cool, but you can hear it. The minute you pick up where were you? Why you call? Where were you? And you can hear it in his voice, and you know what you got. You know what you got. If you happens to miss it, you happens to miss God's voice, that's a good way to test to see where a man's mental health is. And when you see where you're at, leave him alone and pray to God so you can remain safe. Because you don't know. These men be going into rages. So Hey, this video went on too long, but I just felt that on my heart to come on and tell y'all that. But if you like this conversation, you can comment underneath the bar, and you can go ahead and subscribe, like my page, subscribe, like the video, and shalom.